Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today's video I'm here to give you 5 talking points from the game against Derby where we managed to win 2-1 at home. But I do want to start the video off by just saying a few things because I know a lot of people think I was a bit harsh in my match reaction after the game. This is why I do this series where I pick out 5 talking points from the game, because by the time I make this video I've slept on the result. I've kind of thought about the game a lot more, whereas last night, if I'm being honest with you, I was still angry and I needed probably more time to think about the game. But that's why I do match reactions on the day of the game, because you see how I initially think and then do a video the next day and then you know, oh, he's, you know, 1 or 2 things he's maybe changed his mind, he's had a look at it, he's thought about it more. So that's why I kind of do it. But I have to be honest with you, like for 88 minutes yesterday, I was not happy. If you were sat next to me in the stadium, like, you would know I was not happy. And the reason why I'm not happy is because I feel like I'm seeing the same predictable stuff from Luton. And I guess when I do like my research about opponents and how Luton can compete against them, and I see us not do that, maybe it frustrates me a bit more, because I feel like sometimes we're so easily predictable and we don't offer anything else. And I know injuries, you can blame injuries, but it does seem like we're the team that always has more injuries than the opponent at times. And I understand it does come across negative. Look, I'm absolutely happy with the win. I know my face may not look it. I've been told that plenty of times in the past. But look, I am happy, of course. I never want Luton not to win. You know, I will always win. If it keeps Edwards in the job, then fantastic. Like, I want things to turn around, you know what I mean? I don't want us to lose just for him to get sacked. And I don't think he's going to get sacked. I think he's going to get the January transfer window, if I'm being honest with you. And whatever happens after the January window will determine on Edwards' future. I do think he's going to get January. I think that's been made clear by Edwards himself and also by the board's comments, and I will address Edwards towards the latter stage of this video. But I just wanted to say something, because look, I'm absolutely delighted with the win. My expectations are not high. I feel like any team that gets relegated from the Premier League, especially with the money that you get, I feel like you should be competing for a top 10 spot, but by actually competing for a playoff position. So if we miss out on a playoff position but we finish in the top 10, I don't think that's a bad season overall. I feel like any team though has to be getting a top 10 finish. That is still doable with Luton, especially in the second half of the season, but there's a lot of things we need to work on in order to get that end goal. And look, it's up to Edwards and the team to kind of get that sorted, and also the board in providing funds and getting players through the door. But anyway, let's talk about the first talking point from this game against Derby. And it goes to PELLY, the man that changed the game for us. The man that, unfortunately, since the start of the season, he's been missing, you know. Whatever your thoughts are about PELLY in terms of his technical ability, his passing ability, which always gets highlighted with him, he does give everything for the football club. You know, he is Mr. Luton. Luton is his second home. You know, he does provide a lot of energy in the midfield. He's a character, you know. And when he plays, I see the old Luton. I see like the Luton that, you know, from that promotion season. That's what I see when PELLY plays. And for me, he's always a massive reminder of how far we've come as a football club, because he's grown with the football club. I just feel like he deserves more minutes, you know, especially in this Christmas period where the games come at us, you know, so quickly. Why not play him more? You can't play every player, you know, for 90 minutes. It's not doable. You're going to get injuries. So look, after that, you know, positive performance, and he wasn't the only sub that made a positive influence on the game. I did think Woodrow and Taylor made a positive influence. I actually thought Zach Nelson, his passing ability was very good. I think he only lost the ball like once, which was great, and he managed to keep retain possession of the ball. Joe Johnson as well. I thought all the subs had an impact, and that's important when you go into this Christmas period. Your subs need to have an impact. So look, let's see if they get a little bit more minutes in the next upcoming games. But you have to highlight PELLY, because without that shot, whether it was going in, whether it was going wide, it took a deflection, and it did change the game for us, because we went from like first gear to sixth gear. Moving on to talking point number 2, and I do want to talk about Chong playing as a right wing back again. I don't think it works. I really don't. I think in terms of going forward, I highlighted this previously, he always cuts in and uses his left foot. There was one occasion in the first half where he actually did put in a really good ball using his left, but unfortunately no one was there to like take full advantage of it. But there was also 1 or 2 moments in the game where we did have like a counter attack. We broke through, Chong ran down on the right hand side. I think there was a defender near him. Brown was at the back post. All he needed to do was whip it, you know, across that 6-yard box to Brown on his right foot, but he didn't do that. He ended up cutting inside, and then I think we ended up winning a corner from that play. That could easily have been a goal because he's not a natural right footer. He's a left footer, so maybe I don't think he trusts his right foot, and that's going to impact us going forward in the attacking aspect. So I felt Moses and Chong should have swapped position. There was also another occasion where we managed to create something from the right hand side, and he did use his right foot, but the keeper parried it away. But there was also moments where he did win a couple of fouls. Chong, I think he did end up moving over to the left hand side in the second half. Chong, for me, you know, when you play him in his correct position, the best version of Chong is when he's in that attacking third, when he's driving at a defender. That's when we're going to see the best of him. We're not going to see the best of him in the defensive areas, and unfortunately we did pay a price of him being in a defensive area, because the Derby player, the experienced striker, you know, he was around Chong when the ball got played in, and he left Chong, who was marking him, and he had a free header at goal. That could have been avoided if you had someone, I feel like, more natural in that position. And also I feel like our 3 centre halves should take more responsibility and be more aware of that Chong will not have the defensive mindset which they possess. And talking about our centre halves, I do want to highlight Mans Anderson, which will be my 3rd talking point of the video. Mans, I thought, considering he hasn't played in a very, very long time, I think it was his first start for Luton since playing Tottenham in the Premier League at home. I thought he did alright. He didn't look like he was off the pace at all. Of course, there was 1 or 2 hairy moments there, but I thought overall, especially in the first half, I did think we did defend well. This is what I mean about reflecting back at the game. I did think we defended well in the first half. Derby, you know, what they tried to do was, you know, be dangerous from their set pieces. They did put 1 or 2 dangerous crosses into the box, but apart from that, Thomas didn't really have any saves to make in that first half, apart from in the second half when he, after Derby went 1-0 up, he did make a couple saves. But apart from that, in the first half, I thought we were really good defensively. It was just more the attacking sense, and maybe we did just about edge being the better side in the first half. But the second half, because maybe we were pushing, we were leaving a little bit more space in behind. That's why Derby were getting a little bit more freedom in front of goal. But I just wanted to highlight Mans Anderson, because, you know, someone who's not played for so long, you know, I thought he did alright, you know, and we're going to need him again in the next upcoming games. But moving on to my 4th talking point, and I've already highlighted our attacking aspect with Chong. I do want to mention the attacking aspect with Brown, Elijah Adebayo, and also Colton Morris. Those 3 just don't, it's not working. I feel like with them playing as a front 3, they're all very similar. That's the issue. They are all really similar type of players. I think that all 3 of them are target men. It's kind of weird how we're playing them. Now I know like Brown can play as a right winger. He's had previous at doing that role, and then either Elijah or Morris would switch between the 2, whether they go out wide or go central. I just don't think it's working. I really don't, and I want us to change something, because from open play we're not good. And if you take our set pieces away, especially in the last couple of games, we don't look. Our XG from open play is, I think, is horrific. So we need to change something. And when you saw the substitutions come on with Woodrow and Taylor, 2 completely different types of strikers, then we need to, I feel like, use our personnel a little bit more. Let's be a bit smarter, because we're coming up against a couple of teams that are more possession based. Now, we're going to need to be able to keep the ball against those types of teams. Are you going to be able to do that with our attacking threat? I don't think so. I really don't. So I do think a change is definitely needed in the attacking personnel. Considering Morris keeps scoring goals, maybe he's the one we don't drop. And then, right, who can we partner with Morris? Well, Woodrow and Morris worked together at Barnsley for many years. Why don't we try that? Or why don't we try Taylor and Morris? Let's just give that a go, because there's no shame in having Elijah and Brown come off the bench. That's good options to have. And then moving on to talking point number 5, and it is going to address Edwards, because I didn't realise he made this comment until I woke up this morning, and he mentioned about 10,000 managers in the stadium, and he was obviously referring to how, you know, we in the stands could probably make some better decisions than what he was making, and so on. I thought it was a cheap comment. It was a very cheap comment, and if I'm being honest with you, Edwards, you kind of deserve the stick you've been getting. I can't, you know, you've been very, I think the club's been very loyal to you. I really do. I think if this was another football club, and you don't refer to Watford, but other Football League clubs, I think you would have lost your job. I really do. The amount of defeats we're sustaining in 2024, you would have lost your job. And you're lucky that we are loyal. We are a loyal football club. We do back you. Maybe I think we back you a bit more because we maybe felt we let you down in the summer. And that's what I think's happened. So we're going to back you in this January transfer window, because I feel like you don't make a comment like that if you're not going to stay. I feel like he knows he's going to be the manager at least until the end of January, where he get to use these current new players that are coming through the door. I do think we are going to sign a couple. It does look like it's going to happen. So look, he's got to be careful, because, like, yes, some of the fan base, and I'm probably one of them, we're not happy with you. However, you can change my mind easily if you start winning games of football. You start performing like we should be. Then my mind will change. But at the moment, my mind is going one way. I'm still going to support the boys. I'm still going to turn up every week. I'm going to try and do as many away games as I can. I'm probably not going to go to the long distance ones, because I don't really fancy seeing us losing long distance and paying that sort of money to do that. But I'll definitely go to the local ones. I'm planning on going to QPR in the January, and also Nottingham Forest in the Cup. So look, away form definitely does need to improve, and that's the start. If we can go to Bristol City and go to Swansea and walk away with a point from each game, I think that's good. You know, it's to stop this losing rut. That's what we got to do. We need to build some form. We need to go on a bit of run of form. Can we do that? Can we just grab a couple wins together? Of course, a win on Boxing Day would be absolutely delightful, but look, it's up to the players. It's up to him making these right decisions. Can they do it? Let's soon find out. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Drop a like, comment below, subscribe if you are new, and tomorrow's video I will be talking more about 2025 and what I think. Well, I'll talk about the positives and negatives of what 2025 could bring Luton Town. So yeah, make sure you come back tomorrow for that video.